Good evening, everybody. October 28th, 2021. Bitcoin today had a nice rally this morning, and then obviously we had a bit of a fake out here. But in any case, in the video last night, I outlined that 60,355 or so was our line in the sand. We did break over that, and to me that pretty much proves that the bottom is in for this correction, as best it can be proved anyway. This move down here obviously kind of complicates things a little bit. You know, it really shouldn't have done that, except for, you know, the fact that basically it went down and took out all of these lows. So it was a very effective stop hunt by somebody or multiple people potentially manipulating the price of Bitcoin and trying to get, you know, basically stop people out and take positions for themselves essentially. But between breaking 60,355 and doing this stop hunt, which was immediately bought up pretty quickly here, I do think we are probably out of the water, out of the woods rather, on this. Let me see, we have sort of a downtrend line going on here, so that's kind of what happened right here. It got rejected from that downtrend line. They used that as an excuse to kind of scare people out right there, but we are breaking back above it now, so we're looking to be in good shape. All right, so that being said, this area, I'm going to keep this green box on here as support in case it does some more shenanigans like that. But I would think that we probably should not revisit those lows again. At this point in time, we should be making our next move higher. If you've been following along for a while now, you know that I have been a little bit worried about this entire move right here. It was pretty extended for a first wave of the third. We're looking for this 3 here, and this is very extended for the first of third. So because of that, at this point I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to the bulls, and you know, this action is pretty indicative so far that is probably the right thing to do. But because of that, I am going to look for, basically I'm going to need to pull another fib extension here because it's not playing out exactly with a larger time frame fibs we would like to see it play with. So let me just pull that now. We're going to go ahead and assume that's our 1 and 2 of the third wave. And from here then, let me make this yellow, be a little bit easier to see. So from here we can get a target for this third wave, which originally was, you know, quote unquote supposed to be around here in the 100K region. It may in fact see quite an extreme extension on this third. We may see this third actually extend all the way to 145 to 164. I'm not saying that is for sure right now, and we're going to have to pay attention to the lower time frame action here. But basically, if we can get a move that looks something like this, let's move pretty quickly to about 80, get a retrace down to like 70, and then from there move up to 110. This would be the typical path that I'm outlining here, and then down to hold about 86, and then up potentially from there into the region of this 145 to 164. So we've got some targets to try to hit here to make this happen, and prove the diagonal incorrect. Right, so this next wave, if it is going to be impulsive and be very, you know, extended basically, then this is what we're going to need to see. We're going to need to see this pump up here pretty quickly to about 80, and then eventually get to 110. But all of this action in here should be pretty strong. We should see strong moves, strong action on the way up here in order to make this happen. And then if that did happen, we would then have to look at the next area from that. And this is just pure conjecture at this point because we don't know where this third is ending. But once we have where that third ends, then we'll be able to determine where the fourth wave will pull back, which could end up somewhere in this region, just south of 100. And then final fifth wave target could potentially be, hang on, I've got too many colors here. Let me change that to red so I can see it. Okay, there we go. So fifth wave target could be north of 215, potentially even up to 260. So again, this has not proven itself to be the case yet. There's still a lot of work to do, but there is potential there for that to eventually play out. All right, so as annoying as it is, I kind of need to keep these yellow fibs on here now along with the blue fibs because we had this potential extended first wave. But I think if we start playing nicer with the yellow fibs instead of the blue ones, then I can probably delete those, even though the blue ones are based on this larger 1 and 2 that we got. But the yellow fibs may take priority here. All right, I hope I explained that correctly enough. So on the the downside, if for some reason we break below these lows, then I think we would probably go into the scenario where we make a move down here to that bottom trend line I talked about in last night's video. I don't think it's wise to expect that. It's, you certainly shouldn't be shorting this right now. But if we break the lows, that's what we're going to need to look at again as a possibility. And other than that, basically getting above the B high here, above 63.7 would be a very, very good sign. And then obviously breaking the all-time high, about 67K, would be an even better sign that there is significantly more upside to come here. I'm still sitting in all of my Bitcoin buys and have no plans to sell until the chart tells me to. Whether that's 100K or potentially over 200K is still a little bit up in the air, but we do have the potential right now for that significant target of 200K or so. All right, I think that pretty much sums it up. So let's see what the action brings overnight, and I'll hit you with another update tomorrow. All right, good night, everybody.